So, I was born and raised in East Texas, been here my entire life. Went to SFA, the state of East Texas. Graduated from SFA, Google Partner expert. I mean, I am a black lab enthusiast. I do have 3. I think we've covered all this. Oh, die hard, University of Texas football fan. Still pumped that we beat Alabama at home on Saturday. So no matter what happens for like the next year, I'm good. A Christian husband, and as of August 3rd, I am a father. So, how many of y'all have heard the term culture, workplace culture? It's a big thing. People are talking about it a lot. So, in my opinion, culture is the most important thing to your business. So we're going to cover what is culture, why is it needed, how do you achieve culture, and how do you sustain it, and how does it relate to y'all. So, I like to think of it kind of like a game. So, I said I like Texas football, right? So, 3 years ago, we got a new coach at the University of Texas. And if you don't like Texas or college football, that's neither here nor there. It's just something I can relate to and I'm very passionate about. So, anyway, 3 years ago, we got a new coach, okay? The first year, he's like, we're going to instill some culture in this team. And we went 5-7 and lost to Oklahoma. 5-7 is a losing record. It's not good. And Texas fans, you either have to win or you're fired. You get 3 years, right? So I was like, I don't know what he's got. Culture, a losing culture. What is this thing, And then after that offseason, he's like, we're really going to drill down and just, build this culture. And it just kept on talking about culture. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. And then we win 7-5, shut out OU, which, is always a good time for a Texas fan. And then, when you talk about culture in the offseason this year, I really listened and I'm like, what is this culture thing? And I got a better understanding. I thought I knew what it was, but I didn't really grasp it until I listened to 7 press conferences in a row on YouTube one night at 2 a.m. But it starts with trust and belief. So, in your company, you probably have a core value, one thing. At the search lab, so at the search lab, our thing is we like to help small businesses and help them understand and see exactly what's going on with their digital marketing strategies. Because there's a lot of people here that, for lack of a better word, have been screwed by people that say they're experts. So we offer free consultations, honestly, just to go over what you have and just, see if you're getting your money worth. Eric and Denise had a free consultation, we kind of helped show some holes and, prove their strategy, and it didn't cost me nothing. So, we just, what people know. But, so our belief is just helping small businesses, right? And everybody that works on my team, when I interviewed them, I asked questions like, what is your goal? 6 months, a year, 5 months, what do you believe? What is your core value? Stuff like that. And I want to make sure you're a good person. Because our core values are authenticity. That's why I can wear a fishing shirt and boots and throw a fish, not a suit. Because I am. Integrity and transparency. So I need to make sure that they have that. Because that's my vision for this business, so everybody on my team believes that wholeheartedly. If I hire somebody who's I want to make a lot of money, I'm not going to hire them because that's a result of, working hard and doing right by clients. So the trust element is not something you just be yeah, I trust my people. that takes time, you know? Luckily, Marshall, one of my boys here, I've known him since he was 15. He used to destroy me in tennis when he was 15. But, you know, I trusted him, and I trust him now. If, you know, I'm going on a duck hunting trip, leaving tomorrow, you know, I'm a duck hunting, have duck hunter. I trust that he's going to get everything done. And you know, Paul can get handle it, you know. And that's taking time, you know, him learning this business and getting experience and stuff like that. Trust and belief are at the core of a good culture. And then, you know, respect and cooperation, you know. A lot of the stuff we do, we work with each other. I have a web developer, I have a content writer, I have somebody that does proposals and stuff like that. Marshall does a lot of like Google Analytics and tracking. I do a lot of Google Ads. So it all works together because, you know, we cooperate. I need somebody that's like going to be a team player, as cliche as that sounds. But respect, you know, I feel like it's, you have to have self-respect and respect other people. You know, it goes along with trust. You know, have to respect somebody, you know. Like if I make a mistake, I'm gonna say to my guys, hey, that was my fault. You know, and take responsibility. You know, and if they make a mistake, you know, I respect them if they say, hey, I made a mistake. You know, I'll tell everybody, you know, on my team, if you like don't just be like, I hope this works, you know, ask. Now, people that can say, I don't know this, stuff like that. So respect is very important. And then, you know, being able to empathize with people and have compassion. You know, all my guys know that I have ADD, OCD, general anxiety disorder, major depression, a lot of mental issues. Sometimes my moods are like this, you know. I can have Fridays where it's like doom and gloom, like the world is crashing. Then I can have, you know, weeks where we beat Alabama and it's like, let's go, you know. Like just being able to empathize, you know, like I'll sit down with Marshall and be like, hey man, I'm really struggling this week, stuff like this. And he'll listen and he'll be like, you know, let me handle this stuff for you, stuff like that. And sometimes like he was having a rough time when he first started, was, you know, working in the office, and he's like, hey man, this is different to me, so, you know, we work through it. Just being able to like connect with your people on a different level. And the Texas football coach, one thing he does is every Wednesday, they pick a topic, they talk about it. It doesn't have to do with football, doesn't have to do with school, anything, they just pick one topic, they just talk about it, just connect on a deeper level. And I mean, every Friday, we go out to eat somewhere, and we just talk about, you know, what's going on in our lives, what's going on at, you know, home, and like, you know, how the duck hunting is going to be this year, how many fish we caught, just, you know, out of work, but like just connect, you know. I mean,
I just wanted to say that I really do understand that I have sort of what I call an open door policy with my employees, and they come into my office and we're able to talk about anything not work related.
Right.
And so, I mean, we've had times where close the door, we spoke to an employee, she broke down, her grandmother was bedridden. And I just feel like that human connection helps us so much more.
Absolutely.
You know, I understand it's work, we're there to do that, but at the same time, I like to let people know we're there most of the time.
Right.
So we do need to have that interconnectedness that you're talking about.
Absolutely, that builds on the trust and respect and everything. I mean, you know, when you connect with people on that kind of level, there's no trust.
They know you care.
Yeah,
Exactly, because I mean, that I do and they care, and I just feel like that builds everything around us to become more effective as well.
right. I mean, you know, being able to like, you know, humanize and being like, hey, you know, I care about you, that's gonna make them happier employers. Nobody knows what's the work, you know, at a factory where like, you know, they go in, clock their thing, you know, whistle blows, you go to the bathroom, come back to work, and you never talk to them. You know, the guys that, you know, help me run at the top of my company, get just as much attention as the guys that work remote, you know, or the guys that are interns and just started. Like everybody, you know, we're allowed. at the end of the day, it's my company, but I never like try to manage. It's just kind of like, here's what we need to get done, it's on board, in our big room, and it's just love. Yeah, for sure. Right, that's right there, you can do that. Okay, so culture sounds like simple, like you just do this, you do these things, but it's not something that is just like built in a day, and sometimes you have to tear down other structures so you can build a better one. Like, you can't just put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. You got clean the wound, take the bullet out, everything. So sometimes it's hard. And there will be hard times. Like when we lose to OU, when we go 5-7, like that's hard, but he was building this culture. Believe me, I've shared down.
Boomer back here, Lauren. I have my OU jacket for a thing.
Yeah, no one's perfect. This is gonna land pretty heavy in Texas, so, sorry, but I'm not sorry. So there will be hard times, and that's expected, and like I said, some of the stuff you might be like, I'm not doing that, and like, when you start building this, it's tough, and it's very tough. But you have to like keep the faith. I'm gonna go over that a lot. But like keep the faith in what you're doing. Because there will be times where you may be in the red this year. You may barely break the black next year, but you gotta keep the faith that what you're doing right now is going to be better in the long term. Right? You can't be focused on like short-term gains. I hate that we judge ourselves on quarters. I think it should be like a 20-year span. Because like, yeah, we might have terrible quarters, but if you look at the last 5 years, we're not going to talk. In 3 months, it's hard to like completely change like what you're doing. I'm also young, and you might be like, "Oh, Zach, I don't know what you're talking about," but I work for more companies than just this one. I've had just about every job. I worked for an air conditioning company. I worked at a mattress firm. I worked for another agency. I had an insurance agency for a little bit. I worked at like the grocery store. I had a lot of jobs. A lot of different like management styles and the way people treat people. I'm telling you, working at SFA in the business office was very eye-opening to me. That's neither here nor there, just, okay. Like I said, I'm gonna go on rabbit trails, and Marshall's job is to like, keep me up, make sure I'm, okay. So it might seem like it's going wrong. If we're 5-7 to Texas, we're doing something wrong. We're blue blood, let's go. His motto was all gas, no brakes, and it seemed like nothing but brakes. So I was just like, careful. But he was building something deeper. And like I said with the quarter thing, it may seem like it's going on. You may have a bad quarter, but you might be 3 years down the road around and be like, you're doing well. Because then we just had a bad spot. And a good culture wins. It wins football games. We beat Alabama at home when that culture is established. And if you don't know anything about college football, just know like Alabama is Goliath, and we're David, but we're like a really beat down David. We don't even have a slingshot. Nobody beats Alabama at home. I mean, last 2 times we played, they took our quarterback out in the first quarter. So, like I said, no slingshot, but we couldn't throw the ball. We were in the background. Anyways. I think Alabama's lost at home twice in the last like 60 games they played. So and I'm still pumped up about it. I'll tell you, it's a great thing. I don't think Oklahoma's ever done that. Every time they played Alabama, the last 3 times you got destroyed. Just saying. by the way, I always say my 3 favorite teams. Number 3, Alabama. Number 2, Texas. Number 1, whoever is playing OU. Even if it's Ohio State or Notre Dame, I'll still root for them against OU. Anyways, keep the faith. You have to be like, this is hard. Something I always say, this too shall pass. You know, I struggle with alcoholism and addiction. And you know, when I was first in Queens, they would say all the time, this too shall pass, and be like, I don't even know this has, I'm having this issue right now. But looking back over the last 9 years, things that seemed really big then, I don't even think about it anymore, you know? So you gotta keep the faith that this will be good. And you might have a great culture, it sounds like, what's your name, sir?
Johnny.
Johnny, sounds like he's doing great, right? So, you gotta sustain it. So, this is gonna hurt some people's feelings, just, I warned you. So, you know, in the keys to success, and I've changed this title like 4 times this morning because I didn't really know how to put it. But a lot of people will hire like MBAs, people with like business degrees, people in Ivy League schools. That's great, that's awesome. But every guy that I've hired that had an MBA or business administration degree, no longer work for me. Not that they weren't great employees. The thing is, those type of people like to make decisions based on what's on the spreadsheet. They have been trained to take emotion out of it. And I think it's important to have emotion in what you do, not be emotional, but have emotion. So like if, you know, they see this person as a performer and stuff like that, and they haven't got to know them, and they don't have compassion and empathy, there could be something going on the outside. There's weeks where I'm just really tough, and I'm probably not producing like I should, but sometimes they think those and they're like, you're gone, you know? Or like, why aren't you at work when they're taking care of like a sick loved one, stuff like that, you know? So that's the whole thing, like, you need to get to know people, be compassionate, and have empathy for people, you know? Not there's anything wrong with MBAs, I'm just saying that's something I've noticed. So this environment using change thing is very, very like crucial. I read a story a week ago about this guy that bought a factory. He done this, he bought many of them. I think this was his 4th team he bought. And he noticed, he did one of those things undercover boss where he just like went, you know, and just like watched. And he was there like at 7:45, and he was like noticing that the guys were like having fun, cutting up, you know, making bets on football games that weekend. And then as soon as the whistle blew at 8 o'clock, you could just see it in their face. It dropped, they just went, you know, did their job, whistle blew at 10, they had a break for 15 minutes, and then went back to work, stuff like this. All the executives were in an office with windows that oversaw, you know, they had different parking lots, stuff like that. And he brought in one of the crew captains, one of the leaders of the team. And he's like, you know, what, you know, is your opinion, stuff like this. He's like, it's a job, you know, pay the mortgage. And he dug more and find out that like, this system where their industry is worker bees, just as a number, made them not happy. I mean, they were just going to mortgage. So he went in and just like took all that out. He said, if you need to go take a break, whatever, go do it. You know, they put a dartboard in the break room. We have a dartboard in our office, and we play darts actually before we came here today. Yeah. And we were like, he's like, we gotta go. I'm like, dude, I'm on the street. I'm fucking kill you. Because he always beat me at this one game we played, and I was destroying him. So I was like, nah, we're gonna finish this out. You know, just made it to where, you know, they got together and they were able to talk during the day and stuff like that. So it's not only that the employee has to change, but the environment in which they work, because now they enjoy coming to work, you know? they can talk to their boss about issues they're having, they're not treated like a number, they have, there's a whole lot that goes into it, but just the environment is more fun to be at work. Like, you have to be excited at work. My dad works in the bank and it's at a desk all the time, I would lose my mind. I'm probably out of that, I'm pretty active. But like, some people like that. But just being able to like relate with the people you work with and, superiors and stuff, very important. And a lot of time. And you have to inspire. You have to have that belief. Everybody that works for me has the same belief. We just want to help small businesses succeed. We're a small business. My mom owns a small business. His dad owns a small business. It's people just don't know. And when people love where they work, they give their all. We'll stay dogs till 7:30 sometimes, working some of those 20 hours. Because we love where we work. Sustain the winning culture. You might do it like this, but a lot of times if you have two people competing, like two salespeople, it's like, man, I'm gonna catch up with the other person. They're doing so rough, stuff like this, and they're like, I just gotta take care of myself, stuff like that. If you have those people segmented into like competing, that's gonna shatter your culture. Because the cooperation's not there, the empathy's not there, the trust isn't there. So it's good to protect yourself, but the whole reason you build that respect and trust and empathy and cooperation and compassion is so you can protect your organization from the inside. You don't have to worry that it's gonna be okay, and you can, worry about competitors or change your market, stuff like that. But if you're always like trying to fix the inside, you can't worry about those other things, and they might hit you like a brick wall. And that's why it takes time. This isn't something you can do quickly. Trust and cooperation will help you through. So, the awesome responsibility of being a leader, you have to be able to put others' interests above yours. It was very hard for me when I started to delegate things, because it all comes back on me. But, we've been 3 years doing this, and I trust my employees to get things done. I don't have to be like, oh man, I need to just make sure it's okay. I can say, Marshall, this site needs to be tagged, get it done. Jeff, this site needs to be built, get it done. And I don't have to worry about it. I don't know the code and build websites, but Jeff does. I don't know how to tag analytics up, Marshall does. So once that's done, I can run that, which I'm good at, I can do. But, I always be like, what do you need from me? Is there anything I can do to help you? What can that do for you? So, and you have to care about it. Like, I care about Jeff's well-being. We talk all the time about other stuff. So we talk every night. Marshall, we talk all day long, stuff like that. We'll go fishing, we'll go hunt together. I care about him. So I was like, how's your wife doing? How's your baby? He has a baby that's 7 months old, And he's younger than me, but I take a lot of cues because I'm 1 month in a baby, he's 7, So, I trust it. And it's like a family, And just like when a father gives away his daughter and trusts somebody else, that's what our employees, like, your parents do. They're trusting that you're gonna take care of their offspring. So leaders are like fathers. Organizations like a family. And great families have great workers. So, everything's on the back?
Yep.
You understand that?
You're getting a little softer, but it's still.
A little softer down there, pump it up. So communication, no one talks about this. This is gonna hurt people's feelings, just forewarning. how we communicate has changed. And if you don't believe that, when I was a younger man, about 20 years ago, let's do 25 years ago, nobody got on the internet. Google has only been around for 26 years. 25. Yeah, 25 years ago, there wasn't even Google. So when people wanted to know stuff, you know what they did? They went to the library, or they asked, a friend, stuff like that. There was no like, man, I wonder what this is. There's no Google. Can y'all even imagine that now? I mean, everybody has it on their phone.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't work for Google, I work with Google. Just clear that up. But, the way we have to communicate with employees is different. The way you communicate with everybody is different, I mean, we saw from COVID, people use Zoom and they use Google Meet, who ever used video software before that? Exactly, So, the way we communicate today is different. And saying that this is how we've always done it is like a kiss of death in business. Because you have to evolve. I talk to people sometimes are like, man, I hate computers. I wish they'd just go away. That's not gonna happen, okay? I'm gonna have a job. The computers went away. People are like, I hate social media. I do hate social media, but guess what? I don't have it on my phone. But I understand it's important. I do have the Searchlight channel, but I don't run it. I hate somebody do it, but it's important. AI. That's already out of the box. Once you open Pandora's box, something like that, it's there. It's not going away. It's very hard for me to embrace it, but, we all have to. We have to shift. We have to evolve. I covered this. And then tomorrow, there could be something new. But you gotta be open, You don't have to go all in, but at least, try it. Just some of those things that, are hard at first, they can be good once you, take the time. So, a lot of people's businesses, especially ours, we focus on, boomers and Gen X. Most of our clients are business owners that have been in business for a little bit. But now millennials like myself and Gen Z are starting to get out of college, get married, make money, open businesses. And boomers and Gen X, aren't gonna go away. Sorry if that's you. Millennials are gonna go away at some time. And a lot of people are like, how am I gonna, I don't wanna deal with millennials and Gen Z. But guess what? They're gonna be options here. So you need to learn how to communicate with them. He's Gen Z. So I take a lot of cues from him. What do y'all use? Snapchat. I hate Snapchat. It's the dumbest thing. But guess what? That's what they use. TikTok. So we have a TikTok channel. You should go watch, subscribe to the Searchlight TikTok channel. It's a plug. Yeah, so just like we're changing the way we communicate, you got to figure out how to reach your customers. Sorry, I'm going to TikTok and try to find it. It's good. I'll throw it up on here in a second. There's a thing we've done. This is the way we've always done it. It's kiss of death. There was a business here that I consulted with 2 years ago, and I was like, you got to go e-commerce. If you don't, you're going to get left behind. And they're closing 3 stores this year out of their 10. Because people don't like to go. My sister will not call a Domino's. She will send that emoji in, or get on the computer, but she doesn't like people. She's 7 years younger than me. She's, how old is she? 27. 27. I'm 34 about it. She will not, because she doesn't like that communication, because she grew up with nothing but computers, text messaging, stuff like that. So, there are some people that don't like human interaction. So you have to figure out how to get them, and if you're not e-commerce, you can't sell your products to them, because they're trying to go to the store. Plus, y'all all know, Gen Z, millennials, we're lazy. I can get a chicken from Amazon.
It's like a Blockbuster.
What?
Blockbuster.
Yeah, Blockbuster, killed by Netflix.
Yeah.
Blockbuster was this.
Yeah, we gotta explain. You would go and pick your own video.
Every Friday.
Yes.
So, you need to be present when they're there. You know, if they're looking up, you know, what's a good search to use? Movies, Netflix is there. You know, if they're looking at like, you know, what's the best tire for my car, you might see an ad for tire rack and stuff like that. If they are interested in searching who's the best digital marketing company in Tyler, you better believe the search lab is up there a lot. If not, we're gonna have, Martha's gonna have conversations with you there in the car. So you need to be present when they're there. And we do a lot of Google, so, you know, when people are actually looking for your products or services, we can get you at the top. You know? And that's important, you need to stand out. So like, at the search labs, see how everybody's attention is on me, and you can see me because I'm at the top of your vision. That's what we do with your business on search. We get you to the top. Y'all see dead poets study, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the wall, because I don't trust these. But you kind of see how like everybody can see me, everybody knows what we do, stuff like that. Y'all aren't looking for me, but I'm still present.
Now you have to dance.
Yeah.
You've seen this presentation several times, you know I know names. Anyways, like I said, get pumped up. So, embrace the change. Going forward, talk about culture, you know, find roles, align with goals, transparency, communication, and lead the people, not the numbers. Don't be like, oh, our numbers look bad, maybe we need to shave some people off. No, keep the faith. Keep on going. And embrace new opportunities. Reach out to new customers, for charity for tomorrow. When you meet Alabama at home. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you for attending. You can reach me. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
I'm one of those Gen Xers that my daughters have to show me. I won't even download TikTok just because I know how addictive it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because they stay on it 24/7. What do you, I mean, as far as, again, thank God for Kevin today, as far as getting all this hooked up. I'm still learning the technology side to a lot of things. I mean, I know the basics, which kids can buy, but are there any recommendations as far as, I know, like you said, I mean, social media is here and it's gonna stay, computers are here, they're gonna stay, and it's just gonna get even bigger, AI. For us old schoolers, if you will, there's a couple of us in the room here. I mean, what do you recommend? Just perseverance, just pushing us to learn?
So the beginning of your question, you said thank God for Kevin.
Yeah,
Trust your team.
yes.
I have no code, like I said, but my web developer does. He can build, you know, websites from scratch. I don't have to know that, because I trust he can do it. That's why he works for me, you know?
Right.
Marshall is taking a master class in analytics, but he already knows way more than me. I don't have to learn it because I trust that he's gonna get it done. So, you know, if you have somebody you can trust on your team and you build this culture, you do. Just like Texas, you know, the quarterback doesn't have to worry about catching balls for running because he's a running back, wide receiver, tight end, right? So, you know, I think it's important, but it is difficult to learn, you know? I tried to learn to coach one day, not for me. You know, don't have to worry about it. So trust other people on your team, or if you don't have somebody, bring somebody in. You know, like I said, we consult for free.
I have a question.
Yep.
So, kudos on the really encouraging word about building culture. How do you protect a strong culture? And since your company's fairly young, you're adding employees, how do you protect that strong culture when maybe you have an employee who's not as efficient as Marshall, and there's inefficiency or even challenges, real problems? How do you protect the culture against stagnation with inefficiency and poor performance?
So I'm very open with my employees, you know. I'm like, if you get a job offer, bring it to me. I told two of my people to go somewhere else, which was a better offer than I could provide right now. They had a chance to make a lot more money than I paid. I said, this is good, you will learn a lot. And when you come back in 15 years, you'll have learned a lot, I mean, we're very heavy on digital, and one particular employee would work for PLTV, which is heavy on broadcast and digital as well. I think it's good to expand, but like, with him leaving, it wasn't like we lost culture, our culture's still there. I care about my employees as people. So, if you're struggling with something, I'm leaving every Friday. Hey, tell me what's going on, how are you feeling about this? I had an employee that we used to play tennis with that was working for us for 3 months, and he's like, I just hate you left. Okay, he did. He was good at it, but he just didn't enjoy it. So we're helping him find something else, You just gotta care about your employees. I mean, that's what goals do. Be there for them. Can I answer your question, Connor?
So basically, am I hearing, you're gonna help him find his success somewhere else since he's not?
Yeah, if he doesn't like it, I don't want somebody coming to work that's unhappy.
Every shoe doesn't fit every foot.
That's right. Just like, not everybody's our client. Not everybody's your client. You can't serve every single person,
Right.
We talk about that a lot,
It's the same, like people tell me all the time, Rochelle, your energy, I'm a very energetic person, that's just who I am. And it's not for everyone, and that's okay, that's truly okay. Once I learn that person is not receptive or whatever, I'm gonna, of course, back off some,
Right.
but yeah, adapt.
Some people in your probably didn't like that, jumped up on the table, but I mean, I gotta show, what it is. But I mean, I'm a pretty laid back person, but if I need it, I can be pumped up. You're ready to go. So, but the thing is, every client I meet with, usually I'm wearing a fishing shirt. I think the first 3 times I met with y'all, I had dip in. And that's who I am, Tell you what though, everybody that I pitched to last 5 times with a dip, they're not my customer, so. We were like, stop dipping. I was like, I don't know, we might see a lower volume of customers, but it's just, that trust, who I am, It's not for everybody. I've had one lady that was completely disgusted about it. She was fine, but maybe I don't want somebody like that to be my client, Any other questions?
Well, I did want to expand on the previous question. I was also going to say something that helps me a lot is always figuring out your employees and their individualness themselves. So I know that some employees, when they're not performing as well, what helps me is figuring out who they are. And that goes back to what you were saying about learning about them on an individual level.
Absolutely.
Because some are straight shooters where I let them know this isn't working, we need to try something else out. And others, you almost need to, I don't want to say it, but in a way, not coddling, but like, kind of nurture them to the results, and just learning all that. I think that helps out a lot too.
The guy I was talking about that worked for us, his first day was Google Marketing Live, where we will reveal everything that's gonna happen, and you can just see his eyes just like, it's just so much. I mean, Mark's like giving people giving each other high fives, like this is awesome, and they're like, man, this is gonna suck, and he's just like, so we gotta throw him in kind of fast, maybe scared a little bit, but I was spending more time with him and not with Marshall. Marshall's kind of like, man, I feel like, we're not going through things. I was like, yeah, because you got it. He doesn't.
That's all my supervisors to pay attention to those who need it more.
Absolutely.
And those who can let loose and get
Yeah,
it by.
you can trust it. I mean, let them do their job, People that are struggling now, need help.
Do you have suggestions you had a quote that said rivalries will shatter culture.
Right.
Do you have a suggestion for when that rivalry is within leadership? Like whereas your team recognizes the need for a culture change, but the older generations that you were saying.
Leadership's into it?
Sure, yeah.
Is that what you?
Yeah.
So, I always said, this is how we've always done it.
Yeah, I wrote that too, kiss it.
So I told that to 3 companies The two of them are my clients, and the other one, they shut down the resource. You have to make the change. You have to do that, because if they're not listening to you, that respect isn't there, and you don't trust them that they're making the right decisions. So maybe, if they're not gonna change, you need to bring it up. Be like, look, this is how I feel about this. Maybe they should call Zac, because, people come into my office, and they're like, why am I not getting calls, or something like that, or like, can we look at my website? I tell them up front, I'm blind, and I will destroy websites. I have no problem hurting people's feelings, because that's my job. If something isn't working, I will hurt your feelings. Again. That's why Marshall's title is Customer Success Specialist or Happiness Advocate, because he's a good
Oh, that's a
compliment.
good one.
Because that's how
I like
we have two different parties for two different types of people. So we have the older school, retrieving perfect customers, and we have like people that are younger and it says clicking ads and making names. So,
I love that.
so, does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah.
I mean, you just need to bring it up, because honestly, you might need to change, and that's very difficult. But if you see that it's not going to change and you're going to be stuck in this, it's going to create separation. And like, maybe get out on the shoot. I mean, it's hard. When I look at my other agency, it started this, it was tough, because I was making good money, and I was comfortable, but like, my manager was not listening to my suggestions. And I was like, well, this is not really how it works. Also, I didn't like driving the laundry every day. Made that a little bit below, but. Any other questions about anything? Yes, sir.
To be entertained, I enjoy Googling Karen. All the reactions on Karens.
Yeah.
I love it. It's entertainment.
Karen, I got a Karen now.
Every time of Karen. And then, my favorite show, one of my favorite shows is Undercover Boss.
Great show.
I love
Love
it. I love
It
it.
will teach you everything.
I love it.
About communication, about lack of communication.
Yes.
I don't like it when like, the boss is like, oh, you're doing a good job, stuff like that. And I like it when he's like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
Not a terrible employee, he sees it.
Yes.
But with a good culture, you don't have to worry about that. If everybody had a good culture, that show would be good. So,
What does it mean to be a Google partner?
glad you asked. So, Google recognized me as specialized in certain field. I did a show that I'm bringing on new customers and increasing their revenue. And, I have to take tests that are very, very, very difficult. Because I'm specialized in measurement, search, video, display.
Hello.
All the way in the back there.
How are y'all doing? Welcome. We're kind of at the end, but we're happy to have y'all.
We have to do that every year, but I mean, I go to Google twice a year, hear from them exactly what's going on. I have a direct line with them. So I'm also a Google product expert in Gmail, Google Business Profile, Google Ads, and Google Maps. So that's something that you can't apply for in like text ads. That's something that Google just says, you're awesome at. I drop my tab in there, I don't know that. So, sorry. Like I said, I start from ADD. But, yeah, it's something I'm very proud of. I mean, I have it on my shirt here, Marco has it on his shirt. He also has search and measurement certifications. He's a Google partner as well.
That's awesome.
So, that's.
Until I started working here, I knew nothing about Google. I mean, I was always Outlook. I mean, it was always, so everything here is Google. So it's been a learning experience, but I love it because I'm up for a challenge, and except when it comes time to stuff not working,
Yeah, if you want to learn anything about Google, please do not hesitate to call me. That's why I brought this back up. You can reach me anytime. I love to talk about it. Love it. Also, we run ads on being in the office as well. A lot. Let's be real. But here's the thing about that, okay, just real quick. Bing is so cheap because that's what everybody says, who's searching on Bing, so there's not many competitors, it's about a third the price of Google.
Really?
It doesn't work as well, I mean, you don't get as many, the volume, but the quality is a lot of times better because you don't have to deal with competitors.
What's the percentage of Google in terms of,
68,
is it?
68% market share.
Wow. I didn't know
That
that.
was impressive that you like read the rest of this question from his.
Yeah.
That was impressive. I was like, you know.
Yeah, I read about 2 or 3 hours a day, every day, this stuff changes. Like, I sent Marshall an email at 6:50 this morning, hey, read this and tell me what you think about this, you know? I've gotten 3 emails from Google while we're sitting here, hey, our policies are changing on October 8th, this is gonna happen. There's times where we're just at our office and I'm just like, shh. I mean, I'm sorry, but the last one doesn't have for. But, you know, there's people that, like, get their Google account suspended, and I'm like, you know what, Microsoft ads and Bing would be a great option for you, because you can get locked in Facebook or Google jail very easily. And, I've had people call me and like all their stuff's on Google, but they like got locked out of their account. It's about 2% chance to get back. But Juicy's did that, and I was able to save them. That's how much I've ever been able to say about it. Juicy's. Hammer. And you better believe they sent me a big gift card, and I had a lot. Yeah, I love Juicy's. So let me just clear this up, because I get this question asked a lot. Google is not listening to you. Okay? When you say, hey, Google, you know, that's when it's like, okay, what's your question? The way it works, when you do serve those ads that you really listen to, is like, since me and Marshall work together a lot, we have a lot of the aligned interests, but I'm a Spider-Man fan, and he's not into comics. So, work together a lot, so obviously we have a lot of time together, we have some shared interests, so he might see something for Spider-Man. So if you're hanging out with somebody who's been talking about buying, you know, their kid's a trampoline, you know, and then you start seeing ads for trampoline, you're like, oh, Google hurt us to listen to us. No, it's your proximity, people. Just like if you go to Lowe's and you sit in front of this washer for 37 seconds, if you're not in airplane mode, if your phone's turned off, it's gonna hit that feed, and you're gonna go home later within 36 hours, you're gonna see ads for that exact same washer. It's called Beacon technology, they have a little about it.
Beacon technology?
Beacon technology is pretty cool.
I've always.
I jailbroke a phone once, so suggest that, to try to beat it, it's pretty powerful.
Good to know.
If you're too shy, please don't hesitate to hit me up.